And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pepsi Max 350 version 3, the final race here at Infineon, in which we will have our third and final Snickers Cup Series winner here at this amazing road course in Sonoma, California. On the pole for this race is Seth Cole, our winner, back at, I think it was California? But nonetheless, Seth Cole, he's going to be starting off on the pole alongside Dylan Poteet, Matthew McCormick, and Brad Anamia will be the first two rows. So with that said, we will get ready to put them under the green flag here today. We got a few drivers making their first starts, other drivers in new paint schemes, and as they will roll off, we will show you the starting lineup for today's race here at Infineon. This is the Pepsi Max 350 version 3. Here we go, getting ready to put them under the green flag. You noticed a few drivers in there that are making their first career starts. Some of them are making their first debuts in the Snickers Cup Series that weren't even in qualifying races. One of them there, that 76 car. That is the 76 of Liam Ervig. So he and Ricky Hawk are both making their debuts here in this series. Ricky Hawk starting in dead last in the 85. But here we go, 28 laps of racing. Who's going to win the third and final race at Infineon? Green flag is waving. Rookie Seth Cole gets us underway here. Got a lot of rookies in this field here. And here comes Seth Cole. He'll try and lead them off this corner, but he slides through the dirt. He's not going to be the leader. Dylan Poteet uses that inside line to take the top spot. And Poteet in the Denver Mattress Furniture Row Chevrolet will take the top spot. Seth Cole continues to lose spots as he's now slipped all the way back now to the 6th position, and losing more is our pole sitter. He's now under fire for 6th place from Rachel Williams. As Poteet's going to take the top spot, and I think the caution is now waving. That is indeed the case. Brad Anamia is second. Battle is on for third. Let's follow that. Jeff Ehlers, Matthew McCormick, and a good tussle there for position number 3. The 97 and the 86 side by side heading off this turn. Neither one wanting to give way. If they're not going to give way here, one of them's definitely going to have to give way up here in turn 11. They are still side by side, are McCormick and Ehlers, but now it looks like Ehlers is going to use that inside momentum off turn 11 to take position number 3. Here comes Rachel Williams looking for 4th. Whoa! Contact between Felix Harris and Matthew McCormick. Oh, and Seth Cole gets turned. The pole sitter gets turned around in front of the field. Everybody slicing and dicing to try and miss that race car as the caution is out. And the leader under caution is going to be Dylan Poteet, I think. No, Brad Anamia was able to get around him. Brad Anamia leads under the caution flag, with Jeff Ehlers in 2nd, 3rd is Rachel Williams, and it looks like Liam Ervig is going to be in 5th. Let's see what we're under the caution flag for. Caution flag comes out for the first time today, and it's for the Kodak Dodge of Sasha Dawson. Right there's contact between Ziggy Bain, Ralph Mason, Matthew McMurray. And I think Mason's going to make some contact. No, Brandon Gonzalez and Sasha Dawson just tried to go way wide to try and miss this thing. And for Sasha, it just was a little too far, and the car is going to go spinning around. But she did have some front-end damage as well, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, why the 77 has front-end damage, because it looks like she just spun into that rather wide turn there and didn't have any damage whatsoever. Why does the 77 car have damage? Let's see if we can find out why. She just... I don't know what Sasha was thinking. She just drove into the tire barrier. She had plenty of room to be able to miss it, and she just drives into the tire barrier. Not exactly sure what was up with that, but Sasha Dawson may have just taken herself out of this race, and that'd be a tough break for a driver that's in the top 25 in points as far as I remember, and that's not what Sasha wanted to do, I know, but I don't know what exactly was going on inside the cockpit there. I don't know if that was a spotter's fault or if that was just a bad judgment on Sasha's part, but She definitely should have escaped that wreck, or escaped that spin out unscathed, and ends up having front end damage anyway. Well, that was really, really strange. Not exactly sure what was going on there, and I'm not going to really venture to speculate, but only one person knows, and that's probably Sasha Dawson. But we're getting ready to go back under the green flag as we are working our first caution of the day. So we're ready to go back under green. The 62 Coca-Cola Chevrolet of Brad Anamia is the leader. To my knowledge, it's the first time that race car has been out front in a race this season. Well, Sasha Dawson is listed as 1 lap down, but she may actually be out of the race. We'll look and see if we can get official word on that. That is indeed the case. Sasha Dawson retiring from the race due to, I'm not exactly sure. She ended up getting caught up in a spin out there with Brandon Gonzalez and others, but had no damage due to that. But nonetheless, ended up hitting the tire barrier, sustained heavy front end damage, possibly some damage under the hood of that race car as well, and ended up having to retire from the race. So I'm pretty certain that Alexander Dawson and John Dawson, they'll be asking her what actually had happened, because that's just a tough break right there for that driver, Sasha Dawson. Brad Anami is the leader. Dylan Poteet is second. Jeff Ehlers third. Rachel Williams is in fourth, and fifth, making his debut, Liam Ervig. Then you got Levi Shones in sixth. Anthony McCurry in seventh place. Eighth is Felix Harris. Ninth is Michael Harvey in the goodinfo.com Charger this week. And Patrick Scroggins completes the top 10. Jake Johnson's 11th. Ryan Acosta 12th. 13th is Aaron Williams in the new paint scheme of Skittles. Then you got Dougie Shears 14th. 15th is John Dawson. Mark George is 16th. 17th is Pichu London. 18th, Jake Rogers. 19th is Arnold Columbia. And 20th is Ryan Juke. And you got Tanner Sullivan 21st. 22nd is Ricky Hawk. Then it's Matthew Rodriguez, Bill Doberpool, and Aaron Reed completes the top 20. Or the top 25. So, Brad and Nami are going to get us ready to go back under the green flag, and the green flag is now waving. Just to let you folks know, Jake Rogers is going to be driving the 92. He's driving the 92 right now in this race, as you saw. But he will be driving the number 91 car. Oh my goodness! The leader gets spun out up the hill. Down. Whoa, boy, he dodged a bullet there. Did Brad Anamia? That hill actually helped him, but he just spun out in front of the field. I'm gonna think that's gonna bring out the caution. No, it's not. Matthew McCormick also spun out. You got Matthew McMurray going to get bypassed by Seth Cole, but McCormick and Brad Anamia, the leader, get spun out. But that doesn't bring a caution flag out. Rather unusual there. I love that paint scheme of the 85 car. That's Ricky Hawk making his debut here today in the Snickers Cup Series, and he's trying to cut his way through traffic. Caution is now waving, and I'm wondering what the caution's waving for. I didn't see anybody spun out, and we were at the back of the field there. Why is the caution waving? Oh, Matthew McMurray. I think something happened again to the 96. New leader, Jeff Ehlers. He has gotten by for the top spot. Rachel Williams will be second. And Ehlers leads under the caution flag. Let's see what happened to the 96 of Matthew McMurray. We're under the caution flag for the second time today. Now, here's a look. Matthew McMurray was running near the back of the pack. We saw him getting bypassed after he got in the dirt by Seth Cole and Ralph Mason. And right here, McMurray just gets real hot into the corner, makes contact with the right rear of Ralph Mason's machine, and around he goes. By the way, as we watch the McMurray machine slide through the dirt, Judas Priest is the sponsorship this week for the number 70 of Ralph Mason's. So just to let you know that in case you were wondering why the 70 was not sponsored by its normal sponsorship, Judas Priest is the sponsorship for the Infineon race here for the 70. But we're under the caution flag. Let's get ready to go back to green flag racing. Now, pit stops were made, and pretty much positions didn't really change that much. Jeff Ehlers leads the way. Rachel Williams second. Liam Ervig is in third. Fourth is Felix Harris. Dylan Poteet fifth. Sixth is Michael Harvey now. Anthony McCurry is seventh. Eighth is Jake Johnson. Ninth is Patrick Scroggins. And Aaron Williams completes the top 10. So going back to Jake Rogers, as I was mentioning, as the only car out of the race is Sasha Dawson. Rogers will be driving the number 91 Dodge next week at Talladega. That's the car he's going to race at restrictor plate tracks, and it's the number 91 that actually he designed. So that'll be interesting to see him in that car as Jeff Ehlers is going to lead them down to the green flag over fellow Toyota Camry Rachel Williams. Green flag is out. Ehlers in the 97 car going to try and maybe pick up his first career Snickers Cup Series win. But there's a lot of drivers in this field that are hoping for that exact same thing, and one of them, Rachel Williams, almost made a move to the inside for the lead, but Ehlers somehow threw the block. But now he gets up onto the rumble strips again, and he gets turned by Rachel Williams. Hang on to it, Ehlers. Whoa, look out! Oh my goodness, how did they miss the 97? Poteet and Harris both just completely split that 97 car, and how they did it, I have no idea. That was some great heads-up driving by both Felix Harris and Dylan Poteet. One took the high road, the other took the low road, and they did not hit that spinning car of Jeff Ehlers. And what a job by Jeff Ehlers to make sure his car didn't spin out when he came back onto the racetrack. Battle now for the lead. Rachel Williams has it, but Levi Ervig in his first start wants it. Dylan Poteet now making a pit stop. Maybe a little fuel strategy going on there, as I think we are still under the green flag, though, with Levi Ervig leading the way. Felix Harris now into second. Rachel Williams lost a lot of ground there in turn 11. She's now fallen into the clutches of Anthony McCurry there, and that is for position number 3. Wait a minute. I think Rachel Williams and Anthony McCurry may have gotten together. They are not anywhere to be seen now. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, Rachel Williams is damaged. Ricky Hawk slow. There's Poteet. Oh, Ehlers, Jeff Ehlers. Aaron Williams getting pit service done. Anthony McCurry. I think it was a 3-car incident. Ziggy Bain is on pit road getting fuel and 4 tires as Liam Ervig leads under the caution flag. He'll have to come down here racing with Felix Harris down here to the caution flag. Michael Harvey is now taken over the 3rd position. I think Patrick Scroggins is now moved into 4th, but the number 76 Motorola Chevrolet of the newcomer Liam Ervig is out in front over Felix Harris, and the caution is obviously out, but I think the caution came out for Anthony McCurry, Rachel Williams, and Jeff Ehlers, all of whom were running inside the top 10, all getting together, and I have to wager it was just after they crossed the start-finish line or something, because you didn't see them in the background when they came up when Ervig and Harris came up the hill. Caution is out. Ervig leads. Let's take a look and see what happened. Here's a look at it right here. Anthony McCurry is just going to get into the left rear quarter panel of Rachel Williams. She goes down, bounces off the wall, comes back up, and clips the Anthony McCurry machine, sends him up into Jeff Ehlers, and McCurry's going to get the tire barrier, Ehlers is going to get the tire barrier, and Rachel Williams is going to get the tire barrier. All 3 of them, it's a trifecta, into the fence. Rachel Williams had crossed the stripe in 3rd, McCurry had crossed in 4th, and Ehlers had crossed in 5th. And their days are done due to just a really sad wreck, really, when you think about it, because those drivers were running so well here early on in the Pepsi Max 350 version 3. Back to green flag racing we go, though, as the leader is Liam Ervig. So we'll prepare to go back under the green flag on lap 11 of 28. Drivers out as a result of that wreck. Well, we got Jeff Ehlers and Anthony McCurry. They're going to be out of the race. Rachel Williams, I think, is trying to get repairs done to her race car to return to the racetrack, but I don't think that's going to be possible. These drivers did not make pit stops this last time by John Dawson, Ryan Acosta, Ralph Mason, Matthew McMurray, Ricky Hawk. That's the top 5. Aaron Williams, Levi Shones, Ziggy Bain. That's the top 8. They did not pit. Liam Ervig did. He is 9th, he is 8th. No, he's 9th, and Michael Harvey is in 10th place now. I'm sorry I'm getting so confused here. I don't mean to, but sometimes the scoring loop isn't listed there, and I have to just rely on what I see as to who is the leader and who is where. John Dawson, though, he is the leader, as he is going to lead them to the green flag up this hill now. Ryan Acosta, I'd say that Ryan Acosta, maybe he is the one guy we're going to be watching out for most of the day, because he's the highest up in points of anybody in this field from what I'm able to see. There may be a few others, but Acosta's the only one that comes to mind right now, and he may be thinking about going for the lead. But no, he's going to have to settle for 2nd place. How about Ricky Hawk up here in his debut? He's up in 5th. Aaron Williams, he's not on old tires. These guys made pit stops before the caution came out. And Aaron Williams in the Skittles Toyota looking for his second win of the season there as a rookie. Remember, he went to victory lane back at Las Vegas. He had this Daybill sponsorship then, but he's got Skittles on now. That's actually become his primary paint scheme. We'll see him racing that at Talladega next week as well. After spinning out, Matthew McMurray is running up in the top 10. He's now in 6th. How about Levi Shones making a move to the inside of him? That's for 6th position. Although, wait a minute. Yeah, that's for 6th position. And Shones will take it. McMurray back to 7th. And the caution is out once again, with John Dawson leading. This time the caution is going to be out for possibly Ryan Juke. No, I think it was for Michael Harvey, who was actually in the top 10 on that restart. He and Brad Nami, I think, may have gotten together. Let's see what happened to the 89 of Michael Harvey. Well, it looks like things start with Patrick Scroggins and Liam Ervig right here. Scroggins is going to drive it hard into this corner. The car is going to slide through this turn. We've seen this so many times. It's like watching this replay over and over and over. But the Baskin-Robbins Chevrolet spins out. Ziggy Bain, he's trying to miss Scroggins. Just barely does. Harvey, he's trying to get around and he can't. He gets a piece of the Scroggins machine. Jake Johnson in the Cheez-It Frosted Flakes Ford gets by just barely. And you can see Ryan Juke. The reason that he and Michael Harvey lost so much ground was they were caught in the dirt trying to get around the 81, but there is some front-end damage to the goodinfo.com Dodge of Michael Harvey. Well, after pit stops, Liam Ervig is the new leader again. This is the second time he's been out front in the Motorola Chevrolet. He leads over Mark George. Felix Harris is now 3rd, Dougie Shears 4th, and Jake Johnson is 5th. Michael Harvey, he's still in 6th place, so apparently that damage was not too bad on the goodinfo.com Dodge. 7th place, John Dawson. 8th is Ryan Acosta. 9th is Ricky Hawk, and Ralph Mason is in 10th. 11th is Aaron Williams. Brandon Gonzalez 12th. 13th, Matthew McMurray. 14th is Ziggy Bain. 15th, Pichu London. Arnold Columbia is up to 16th. 17th is Matthew Rodriguez. Patrick Scroggins is 18th. 19th is Tanner Sullivan, and Bill Doberpool is in 20th. Our outside front row people not running so well. Outside pole sitter Dylan Poteet, he's back here in 21st. Seth Cole is all the way back here in the 24th position. That's our pole sitter. There's Levi Shones trying to catch up with this field. He just made a pit stop in the 74 car. But the 76 is going to lead us back to green. We have only 4 drivers out of the race, and they are Rachel Williams, Jeff Ehlers, Anthony McCurry, and Sasha Dawson. 29 of the original 33 cars still on the racetrack and still on the lead lap. Green flag back out. Liam Ervig in his debut here, out in front, but here comes Mark George on the high side in the little Debbie Toyota. But George now slides through the dirt. He'll lose 2nd place to Felix Harris, and that allows Liam Ervig to get away. As they continue to battle further back here, Mark George yet loses 2 more positions. This time to Dougie Shears and Jake Johnson. Dougie Shears is trying to go for 2nd place on Felix Harris. Dougie Shears actually is another driver that's doing very well in the standings. He's our Season 1 Snickers Cup Series champion. He's trying to win his 2nd championship in the Snickers Cup Series. Whoa, he forces Felix Harris into the fence. I think Harris did get a piece of the wall. Somehow he continues on, and I think Ziggy Bain is also back into the fence there. I think I saw the 69 car in trouble. Yeah, he's on pit road. Liam Ervig's going to lead them down to the caution flag, no doubt. 2nd place is Dougie Shears, Jake Johnson into 3rd, John Dawson 4th, and now a battle for 5th. Ricky Hawk and Mark George contesting that position. I think Ricky Hawk's going to have the preferred line coming down here to the caution flag, and it's going to be Hawk by mere inches, having the 5th position over George. Aaron Williams now is in 7th place, with Ralph Mason 8th, Michael Harvey 9th, and Felix Harris is in 10th. We're going to take a look first, see what happened to Felix Harris. He's still 10th place, but he does have damage to the left side of his race car after I'm pretty certain he got a piece of that wall through the S's, but also Ziggy Bain has hit the wall hard, and he's now on pit road. We'll see what happened to both Harris and Ziggy Bain to put us under the caution flag once again. Now watch this right here. Looks like some contact's going to happen between Dougie Shears, Felix Harris right there. There's the contact. forces the 93 car into a kind of a slide. He's trying to hang on, and he does indeed get a piece of the wall. The thing of it is, he hit it like dead on with the side of his race car, and that allowed him to keep the car straight. If he had hit it any other way, his car might have spun around on him, and he'd have had no control over that number 93 car. And so it was almost a bit of a blessing the way that car hit, even though that was driver's side first. But there you see Ziggy Bain back there, top of your screen, involved there. He must have gotten turned by somebody. We'll see now what happened to the 69. Now, Ziggy Bain's contact is going to come from the 73 of Tanner Sullivan. Right there's the contact. Tell you what, Ryan Acosta just had a near miss there. He almost got hit by the 69, but look at that hard impact into the outside retaining wall. And that's just one hard hit for that. The Pibwasser Chevy of Ziggy Bain. Hard lick for that car, and he's undoubtedly going to retire from the race. And so we're under the caution flag. Let's go back to green flag racing, though, as we have gotten past halfway in this event. So back to green flag racing we will go, and indeed the 69 is out of the race, that of course being Ziggy Bain. I think Levi Shones is actually listed one lap down. Let's see if he's still running on the racetrack. Yeah, he is one lap down. He was caught on pit road and didn't get pit off pit road quick enough before the leaders passed him, so he is listed one lap down, currently in the 28th position. This is the way they look as we get ready to go back to green. Making his debut, Ricky Hawk in the Snickers Cup Series. He is the leader. Aaron Williams, he's still very much in this in second. Ralph Mason, don't count him out. He's there in third. Arnold Columbia, haven't talked about him all day. He's in that Gatorade paint scheme, and he is fourth. Fifth is Matthew McMurray. Sixth is Brandon Gonzalez. Seventh, Bill Doberpool. Eighth is Tanner Sullivan. Ninth is Matthew Rodriguez. And Dylan Poteet's finally back up into the top 10. Aaron Reed, haven't talked about him all day. He's now running in 11th. Seth Cole's now up to 12th. 13th is Ryan Juke, 14th Matthew McCormick, and Jake Rogers is 15th. 16th is John Dawson, 17th is Bob Marshall, 18th Brad Namia, 19th Dougie Shears, and 20th is Jake Johnson. So we'll get ready to go back to the green flag with Ricky Hawk leading the way in the Amp Energy Toyota Camry. This is the first time Hawk's been out front today in his first ever start in the Snickers Cup Series. He's got a fellow Toyota behind him who has been to victory lane and wants to go again. That's Aaron Williams. Green flag is out. Williams jumps the gun, goes to the outside, thinking about maybe taking the lead off here through this turn. However, statistically, we have not had that work. Williams may be able to, maybe trying to break the jinx. Let's see if he can. Nope, he goes sliding through the dirt, and he's going to lose out on a few positions there. He loses the second position to Ralph Mason, third position to Arnold Columbia, and Ricky Hawk begins to get away from the field. Well, just as soon as Aaron Williams lost that third position to Columbia, he now is underneath Columbia for that spot. Here comes Ralph Mason, though. He has bigger thoughts. He's thinking about the lead in that Judas Priest Chevrolet. He goes underneath, and he's going to go to the lead in that 70 car, I think. He and Ricky Hawk battling side by side. Hawk tries to keep the advantage, and he will do so. Ricky Hawk continues to lead through the S's. That may have killed the momentum of Ralph Mason for a while, because now new third-place car Aaron Williams and Arnold Columbia, they're starting to catch up to him, and maybe they'll challenge him for positions 2 and 3 here in the turn 11 vicinity. That's exactly what's going to happen. Here they come to the bottom, 3 wide, Columbia, Williams, and Mason bails out. Good move by Mason to slip back to 4th place. Still quite a bit of time to be able to make moves. And look at the new 5th-place car, Bill Doberpool, in the 75 car. Good run for that U.S. Army Chevrolet, as he is in 5th place. 6th place now is Brandon Gonzalez. He's got a history here at Infineon. Brandon Gonzalez ended up winning last season in the Mobile One Cup Series, stretching it on fuel, and that was his only Mobile One Cup Series victory. He does have a win also in the Snickers Cup Series that came, I think, back in Season 1 when he drove the number 78 car. Oh, the caution is out. But are these cars slowing down for the caution? No, they're still racing it back to the line. It's Ricky Hawk, Aaron Williams, Arnold Columbia, Ralph Mason, Bill Doberpool. That's the top 5. Brandon Gonzalez, Aaron Reed. Good run for that 66. He's in 7th. 8th, Tanner Sullivan. Ryan Juke is now up in 9th place. And Matthew McMurray, with a damaged race car and all, he's in the 10th place. Matthew Rodriguez runs in 11th. Matthew McCormick in 12th. That's 3 Matthews there, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Dylan Poteet, 13th. Jake Rogers, 14th. Seth Cole, 15th. Brad Anamia 16th, John Dawson 17th, Bob Marshall, Mark George, and Liam Ervig are the top 20. So undoubtedly the leader coming back to the line is going to be the 85 of Ricky Hawk. And that's indeed the case. He leads under the caution flag. Let's see what the caution actually came out for. We don't know what it was for, so we're going to find out in just a moment. Here's a look at what happened. Dougie Shears, Levi Shones, Ryan Acosta are going to get into each other, and both Acosta and Shears running well in the standings. This was not what they needed this late in the race, but here's the contact. They're going to go 3 wide. Levi Shones is going to make some contact with that right rear quarter panel of the Red Bull Toyota, turn him down right in front of Ryan Acosta, and Acosta and Dougie Shears are going to make contact, and Shears kind of spins out just a little bit in front of the field, and that was enough to bring the caution flag out, so we're under the caution once again. Time to go back to green flag racing as these laps are winding down awfully quickly. We're in the closing stages now of the Pepsi Max 350 version 3. Well, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. A few drivers decided not to pit this time, and so we're going to see what's going to happen to them. Tanner Sullivan inherits the lead due to the pit stops that were made. Ryan Juke is now second. Third is Matthew McCormick. Fourth is Seth Cole. Fifth is Brad Anamia. John Dawson is in 6th, Mark George is 7th, 8th is Liam Ervig, 9th is Jake Johnson, and Levi Shones, or make that Felix Harris, is in 10th. 11th is Michael Harvey, 12th is Dougie Shears, Ryan Acosta is 13th, 14th Rouse Mason, 15th is Pichu London, 16th is Aaron Williams, 17th is Patrick Scroggins, 18th Bill Doberpool, 19th is Ricky Hawk, and 20th is Arnold Columbia. 21st place is Matthew McMurray, 22nd is Matthew Rodriguez, 23rd, Brandon Gonzalez, Aaron Reed, 24th, 25th is Dylan Poteet, 26th is Jake Rogers, 27th is Bob Marshall. We got one car, one lap down. That's 28th place Levi Shones, who is right there behind Jake Johnson. And then we have a total of 5 drivers out of the race. They are Ziggy Bain, Rachel Williams, Jeff Ehlers, Anthony McCurry, and Sasha Dawson. So Tanner Sullivan out in front in the 73 car, trying to pick up his first win of the Snickers Cup Series. He made his debut last season in the All-Star Open race for the Snickers Cup Series when he drove the number 26. He's with a full-time ride this season, though, in the number 73 Lance Toyota Camry out of the JTG Daughtery Racing Stables, and the green flag is waving. Tanner Sullivan out in front, Ryan Juke, Matthew McCormick. We had a lot of drivers here who could pick up their first win as rookies. Sullivan with Ryan Juke all over the back bumper there. Whoa, Ryan Juke nearly turned the 73, but now he's going to force his way to the inside. Let's see if Juke can make the move. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Ryan Juke will make it possible and go to the front. Matthew McCormick now takes second from Tanner Sullivan. Seth Cole now in a battle for third with the 73. It looks like he'll take that spot as the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet is out in front. Richard Childress Racing had a pretty tough race in Division 2. Mia Morris, John Worry, Matt Nathan, they all had a lot of tough luck in that race. Ryan Juke maybe trying to bring a little bit of a ray of sunshine to his Richard Childress teammates as he's out in front, but Matthew McCormick is visibly catching him. I wonder if there could be a tire thing here as far as fresher tires and older tires, or just the fact that Matthew McCormick's car is a little bit stronger. Don't know, but McCormick is closing. He's closing so close that he's going to go for the lead. McCormick in the 86 to the inside, but now he has to give way and relent the lead back to Ryan Juke. He's going to try and reload it up, fire again. Some point here this lap, I'm certain. Seth Cole trying to look for his second win of the season as he's closing in there in third. Tanner Sullivan there in fourth, and then it's a bit of a gap back to Mark George and Liam Ervig, who are in a battle for that fifth position. There's McCormick. Looks like he's trying to get a run on Ryan Juke. Not going to happen. Juke continues to maintain his ground ahead of McCormick by about 2 to 3 car lengths. We are still clean and green with about 7 laps to go. It's actually 7.5 now. Or not 7.5, 6.5 to go. Ryan Juke, though, out in front. That ride was not his originally. It was actually Matthew Rodriguez's, but when Rodriguez moved over to the 84, Ryan Juke took over the duties of the 98 car, and he's doing a whale of a job right now. This is where McCormick started to run down the 98 before. The last lap, he's doing the exact same thing this time, trying to close back in on the back bumper of the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Matthew McCormick trying to make that same move he did before. Can he get it to stick this time? Answer to that is no. He's just not close enough to be able to get underneath the 98 car. But we are still green flag racing. This is nice. Maybe we could race it green to the stripe. And if that's the case, there may be fuel strategy that'll have to play out here in the closing 6 laps. Let's look back here through the top 5. We talked about Seth Cole. We talked about Tanner Sullivan. He actually led them down to the restart. Mark George has now emerged into the top 5 in the 72 car. Then you got John Dawson. He could be looking for a win here today. He's in 6th. 7th is Brad Anamia. 8th is Dougie Shears. Liam Ervig 9th. And Felix Harris is in 10th. But don't count any of these guys out because they may be able to have some fuel strategy here. We got Michael Harvey 11th. Jake Johnson is 12th. 13th is Ryan Acosta. 14th is Aaron Williams. He lost 2 spots right there in one turn. Bill Doberpool, he is in 16th. 17th is Arnold Columbia. Or I make that 15th Doberpool, 16th Columbia. 17th place is Ricky Hawk now. 18th is Matthew McMurray. 19th is Jake Rogers. And 20th is Ralph Mason. 21st is Dylan Poteet. 22nd, Matthew Rodriguez. 23rd, Aaron Reed. 24th is Bob Marshall. 25th, a long ways back, is Patrick Scroggins. Pichu London also a long ways back in 26th. And Brandon Gonzalez, he was up there in the top 5 for a while. He's running way at the back here in 27th. He may have made a pit stop. Don't know for certain. We'll try and catch up on that. He may be trying to stretch it on fuel here. Remember, he knows how to do it. Did it in the Mobile One Cup Series last season, picking up his only Mobile One Cup Series victory to date. But it is still Ryan Juke out in front. Chevy holds the top 3 spots. One is a Richard Childress ride, and then there's a Hendrick Motorsports ride in Matthew McCormick, and then a Colin Bryant Motorsports ride in Seth Cole. But Ryan Juke, I'm trying to see here if his lap times are slowing down, and he doesn't really look like it. Looks like he's maintaining pretty much 100.210, 100.300 lap times, just a little over 100 miles per hour each and every lap. So he's not backing down. Of course, Ryan Juke is on a different pit sequence, then again, so is everybody else. Speaking of pit sequence, looks like the Ryan Juke machine's coming down pit road. Juke is indeed coming down pit road. So is McCormick. So is Cole. So is Tanner Sullivan. Mark George, though, he's deciding to stay out, is the 72 car. Can he make it on fuel? Oh, somebody got spun on the entrance to pit road. That might bring out the caution. We're still green. Is the caution going to come out? No, no caution. I saw somebody get spun right at the entrance of pit road, almost kind of similar to what happened to Jake Cole in our Division 2 race, but the caution is not displayed for this field. So, Mark George, I think he would have loved to have had a caution come out at that point, but caution is not waving. No yellow lights. Mark George enjoying a pretty sizable lead over a new second-place car, Dougie Shears. Liam Ervig has moved up to 3rd, Michael Harvey 4th, Jake Johnson 5th, Aaron Williams 6th, Bill Doberpool 7th, Arnold Columbia 8th, Ricky Hawk 9th, and now a battle for 10th. Let's follow this battle between Jake Rogers and Matthew McMurray. Also a battle between Ralph Mason and Dylan Poteet. That's for position number 12 back behind these guys. This is a good battle here, but let's see now. They're coming down here towards pit road. Is Mark George going to come down? He is down. He is in, is the Mark George machine. And the one to stay out this time is going to be Liam Ervig with Michael Harvey. So the pit stop cycling around. New leader is going to be Liam Ervig. He's been out front twice today, and he's trying to pull off a Tim Tebow today with picking up his first career win and his first career start in the Snickers Cup Series. Michael Harvey hoping that goodinfo.com paint scheme, that light blue scheme right there, will get him to victory lane. As he's right there in second. Aaron Williams, very much still in this. He's in the 3rd position. And look who's up to 4th. Arnold Columbia in the Gatorade Chevrolet. After a heartbreaking race last week at California, he is running very well right now. And how about Ricky Hawk as well? Good run in that 6th position for that race. Or that would be actually 5th place for Ricky Hawk. But the question is, can these guys make it on fuel? We've got 3 laps to go, but who's going to have what it takes to have that last little bit of Sunoco to get him across the start-finish line? It's anybody's guess, because there is still a total of 3 laps to go, and it looks like the Liam Ervig machine's indicating he's coming down pit road. That is indeed the case. Ervig is on pit road. Harvey's on pit road. Williams, Columbia, Ricky Hawk, they're down pit road. I think the leader is going to be Mark George. I think Mark George got out ahead of Ryan Juke And I think Mark George is the new leader. We know he and Juke have both made pit stops, and Mark George may have inherited the lead here with these other 5 drivers making pit stops. Trying to see here. Yeah, I think, Mark George is going to be the leader when things cycle around because he had a fast enough pit stop to get him out ahead of Ryan Juke, who was ahead at the restart of this race before these pit stops began. So the new leader is Mark George, and you'd have to think now that this is going to be a race to the finish because of the fact that these drivers have just made pit stops. I don't think they're going to run out of fuel in a matter of 2 laps. Ryan Juke, though, he's all over Mark George. He wants to win this race, but Mark George wants to win as well. The question is, who wants it more and who's willing to go the extra mile? Who's willing to make the risky move? Mark George out in front. Ryan Juke second. You got Patrick Scroggins back there. Is he a lap down or is he in 3rd place? He's 3rd, is Patrick Scroggins. Scroggins making a great return to the Snickers Cup Series with a 3rd place run right now. 4th now is Liam Ervig. 5th is Michael Harvey. 6th place is Aaron Williams. 7th is John Dawson. Matthew McCormick is 8th. Arnold Columbia 9th. And Ricky Hawk is 10th after these pit stops have cycled around, but it looks like the only driver that's going to be able to challenge Mark George for the win is going to be the 98 of Ryan Juke. Look at him cut it hard down there in turn 11. He's right on the back bumper. It's going to be a fight to the finish between these two. It may be an Anthony McCurry-Robert Band finish. Let's see if that's going to be the case. White flag is displayed. It's displayed for the Little Debbie Toyota of Mark George. Here comes Ryan Juke. Tries to move Mark George out of the way. This may be a mistake for the 98 car. This is not a very good area. Whoa, look at that! He made it work! He made it work! Ryan Juke did not go off onto the rumble strip and lose ground. He kept side by side with Mark George. That could be a sign of how strong that 98 car is. But it still is Mark George out in front. Ryan Juke has still not gotten the job done of bypassing Little Debbie Toyota. Meanwhile, Patrick Scroggins may close in and make this a 3-man fight before all is said and done. It's a long road course. Anything could happen in these S turns and then back down here to the paperclip turn 11. But Ryan Juke has lost a little bit of ground. He'll try and regain it here on the exit of the S's. Let's see if he can do so. Mark George continues to lead the way. Ryan Juke trying ever so hard to catch back up to Mark George to make it a fight to the finish. He may be able to close in here. Let's see if Ryan Juke can close it down here in turn 11. George with the lead. Ryan Juke going to cut it as hard as possible. Look at him almost go beneath the rumble strips. Ryan Juke's right on the back bumper. Here we go. Will Ryan Juke put a move to the inside? Can he get a run to the inside? No, he cannot. Mark George is going to pull it off and win here at Infineon in the Pepsi Max 350 version 3. But tremendous credit to Ryan Juke. He tried just about everything he could. He wore out the back bumper of that Little Debbie Toyota, no doubt about it. Ryan Juke, a great run in 2nd place, but just not close enough to be able to make the move on Mark George there off of turn 11. What a run for Patrick Scroggins there in 3rd after his car actually spun out a while ago. A great debut showing for Liam Ervig in 4th. Michael Harvey, a great run in 5th. Levi Schoen's going to finish a lap down. 6th place for Aaron Williams, a great run for that Skittles paint scheme. John Dawson, 7th. 8th, Matthew McCormick. 9th will be Arnold Columbia, and Ricky Hawk also making his debut in the Snickers Cup Series will finish in the 10th position. 11th place going to be Dougie Shears. Seth Cole will get credited for 12th, will our pole sitter. Ryan Acosta, 13th. 14th, Bill Doberpool, and Jake Johnson will take the 15th position. But what an incredible race, and congrats to the driver, the number 72, Mark George. An unbelievable job by the Little Debbie Toyota. We head next week to Talladega, folks. Hope you'll tune in for that. The NNSCRA is leaving Infineon for weekend number 7. Here come the point standings and the finishing order for this race. See you guys next week at Talladega. We are so looking forward to it. And once again, congrats to Mark George on his victory here today at Infineon. You've been watching the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.